Previously on ObsidiusNyxofcuckoo, Chapter 18. In a dimly lit library chamber at Blackwood Manor's ancient labyrinthine hallways, Obsidius stood resolute with confusion gnawing at him like an unseen predator lurking within his fractured mind. He had traced map after shadowed path in the blue box, each symbol and arcane mark bearing witness to layers of reality that were as treacherous as they were alluring. The spectral form of Lila drifted away, her presence a cosmic puzzle woven with forces beyond comprehension. She was both anchor and wind beneath Obsidius' feet. Chapter 19 Summary. Obsidius Nyxofcuckoo found himself ensconced in the ancient library at Blackwood Manor's heart, a chamber where shadows danced more brightly than light itself. The blue box lay open before him, its digital interface flickering softly like a dying fire among whispering whispers of centuries past. He gazed through the stone walls with an intensity that felt otherworldly. Each wall seemed to hold countless dimensions entwined into one intricate pattern. The blue box's secrets held both allure and dread. Obsidius' fingers traced patterns on its surface, searching for answers hidden within this cosmic puzzle, answers whose discovery threatened not just his sanity, but perhaps the very fabric of reality itself. Suddenly he detected a shifting in an adjacent library alcove, a subtle shift might that have been nothing more than coincidence or mere nervous twitching. But as Obsidius' eyes narrowed and his mind whirred, Lila's spectral form materialized within this silent corner, her presence starkly different from her earlier ghost-like state. "Hello," she said without the slightest sound emanating from these lips formed of ephemeral air currents. Her voice floated inaudibly through their shared chamber as though spoken across an immeasurable gulf, carrying with it a weight that felt all too familiar and utterly inexplicable under such circumstances. "Lila?" Obsidius' eyes shifted towards the spectral form hovering just outside one wall's edge of visibility within Blackwood Manor. "What brings you here?" Her response was brief but impactful. "The convergence awaits." The words hung suspended in time, their weight palpable amidst an otherwise silent silence, noiseless not because there were no other sounds to be heard or eyes upon the walls and floors for that matter. As Lila spoke these few terse yet resonant sentences with a clarity bordering on eerie precision, her spectral form began moving towards him. With every step she seemed less anchored by this earthly realm. Her aura grew stronger until it was palpable around them both, a force of resistance against Obsidius' connection to the blue box's digital veil. "Where have you been?" he asked urgently despite himself, his heart racing, his hands itching for some means towards physical contact with her spectral form should anything within these walls threaten. "I've needed your help since we first met." Lila hesitated before answering. "We are tethered by an unspoken bond, a connection forged during the dark years of childhood terror and loss." Her eyes locked onto him, a flicker that might have been human gaze but felt otherwise uncanny in its intensity. "The blue box holds many secrets," she continued with renewed determination coloring her voice now, "but it also harbors shadows we must navigate together." Then, without warning or ceremony, or so Obsidius would have believed if not for the spectral form's unyielding presence, by his side he felt a surge of energy crackled through him. Lila reached out, pressing something into his palm as she spoke. "This is our key." The object nestled within her fingers was small yet distinct, a sleek silver device no larger than Obsidius' thumb. Upon first glance it appeared nothing more extraordinary, until Lila's spectral form began to fade away, this connection tenuous and fragile without a tangible anchor. "Hold tight," she murmured, fading from his sight altogether as if by magic. The very act of seeing her leave only confirmed what he had suspected, that this was their key and they would need every ounce thereof in coming moments. As Lila's spectral form dispersed into nothingness once more within Blackwood Manor's labyrinthine corridors, Obsidius grasped at a senseless grip upon his silver device. The blue box, the library chamber and its ageless stone walls stretched out like forgotten memories, or perhaps not so forgotten threats, now waiting in ambush for them both. Convergence, the awaited beyond their ken, an invitation for realms once lost to surface anew against forgotten shadows where light failed utterly. And Obsidius gazed through these ageless stone walls of Blackwood Manor, each whisper and symbol carrying with it an ominous weight that felt his quest was clear: to uncover what lay hidden within the chambers or face its unfathomable depths, forever adrift amidst forgotten lore's endless abyss. With Lila's spectral form still drifting away into silence, a cosmic puzzle woven together by forces beyond comprehension, their journey continued as Obsidius searched for answers with primal instinct and a fragmented wisdom that remained both alluring yet perilous in the face of what lay concealed within Blackwood Manor itself. The blue box's secrets, ever elusive but tantalizing, this was their key. What lies next? Will they navigate this cosmic puzzle together or succumb to its shadows, whispers, and, if so, Which way forward does ObsidiusNyxofcuckoo turn in the midst of these forgotten halls and ageless stone walls that held both mysteries and told yet also potential salvation from what once seemed an eternal abyss? The question was as pressing now more than ever. The convergence. Lila's spectral form fading away into void, what secrets lurk within this chamber, and how will Obsidius navigate his quest for answers in the labyrinth of forgotten realities Blackwood Manor holds, so dear yet fraught with peril, and danger lurking beneath its ageless veneer. As he pondered these questions amidst shadows thick as fog, one thing remained certain: whatever came next would define not just their journey, but perhaps even their very essence, a cosmic puzzle now intertwined by forces beyond comprehension. The final chapter was already unfolding in the depths of Blackwood Manor's forgotten corridors. Wherever ObsidiusNyxofcuckoo turned or whichever path he took, there awaited a new challenge on his quest for truth and survival amidst these timeless realms entwined with shadows once lost to light yet now threatened anew by forces that defied comprehension. The convergence awaited beyond their ken, an invitation for realms once lost, now exposed in stark contrast against forgotten shadows where light failed utterly, and Obsidius gazed through the ageless stone walls of Blackwood Manor, each whisper and symbol carrying with it an ominous weight that felt heavier than air itself. As Lila materialized beside him at the entrance to Elena's ship, a vessel crafted from obsidian wood, symbols etched onto its surface as if inscribed by ageless hands, herself a spectral presence offered a grim smile. "Welcome back," she intoned in her unbreakable voice of wisdom and terror. It had been so long since Lila last joined them on their journeys. The blue box loomed ahead like an implacably sealed tomb, its black glass door immobile as the centuries that mark time for Blackwood Manor's forgotten inhabitants. Inside stood Kimura again, the man whose very essence felt fractured between two identities, obsidian and Obsidius both. This duality now anchored his own sense of reality within Obsidius's chaotic mindspace. As they moved towards it, the blue box pulsed with an otherworldly glow. Elena's eyes gleamed from her logbook as she spoke to Lila in a soft undertone that was half confession and half warning. "The memories are stick-and-silicon, only fragmented like shadows between cracks of memory." Obsidius stepped closer but hesitated, his presence flickering slightly amidst the blue light's mesmerizing power. He glanced down at something he held, an object as mundane yet terrifyingly specific in its import. "Think back to that photograph from Blue Box," Obsidius urged Lila and Elena softly through clenched teeth, his mind already weaving intricate maps of shadows, his heart pounding in erratic rhythm against the walls surrounding him now. "How does it make you feel? What memories do those symbols elicit for you?" The air inside grew thick with suppressed tension as he waited. Even in this strange noiseless sanctuary, where whispers echoed faintly like faraway voices singing hymns of terror, his companions knew well that Obsidius was on a path to unconcealed hidden truths. He himself remained uncertain about what they would find within those unyielding glass doors, only certain now that only together could he hope for any semblance of control over the convergence's unfolding events. In this moment suspended between light and darkness, amidst secrets etched into stone walls by ageless hands who had long since gone to their grave in silence's embrace, a single question echoed within Obsidius' mind: could they finally put a name or